So you have all seen these games, they look terrible. The gameplay is mindless and is covered in pop-up ads, and yet they have more downloads than Witcher 3 and Elden Ring combined. How is that possible? I got this comment on one of my videos about hybrid casual games that, do you know how they break through the market? Like, is it luck or do they have a specific advertisement strategy? So in the beginning I also used to think that obviously it's sheer luck, like they just throw thousands, not thousands but hundreds of games towards the wall like random shit go, and one of them just stuck. But turns out that's not the case. So I really delved into this, and turns out it's usually much less about luck than people think. Many crappy mobile games aren't trying to win awards, get great reviews or build a passionate fan base. They are optimized for one thing only: acquiring users profitably at a very large scale. A publisher simply asks, hold on, wait a minute, how is the developer smiling? That's not realistic. There we go, much better. If I spend $1 on ads, can I make back more than $1 from the players that I acquire? And if the answer is yes, they just keep increasing ad spend until the economics stop working. A game that may look terrible to you might be earning ad revenue from players watching videos, in-app purchases from a small percentage of whales, subscription offers, cross-promotion into other games, etc. If each player is worth $2 over their entire lifetime and it costs $1 to acquire them, then the publishers can just buy millions of installs. Okay, this is the thing that I hate the most. One of the biggest strategies is deliberately advertising something that's different from the actual game. For example, pull the pin puzzles, IQ test, save the girl scenario, hero rescue puzzles, extreme fail compilation. The ad is deliberately designed to create one of these emotions. I can solve that. Why is this guy so stupid? I want to see what happens next. I need to prove that I am smarter than this guy. Or the worst of all, thirst traps and anchor traps. This drives installs even if the real game is a city builder, idle game or a match 3 puzzles. Many people install, discover it's a completely different game and then just simply quit. But guess what? The publisher doesn't care because enough people stay. Say 90% of the people simply install the game and then see it's a different game and then just uninstall the game. But the publisher doesn't care about that. You know why? Because they already got the install and that's all they wanted from them. The rest 10% is what they wanted. The successful companies run enormous experimentation systems. A large mobile publisher may test hundreds of ad creatives every single week. Different thumbnails, different hooks in the first 3 seconds, different music, different captions, different demographics. Better than Mr. Beast actually. And guess what? Most of the ads fail. 99.9% of the ads fail. But again, publisher simply doesn't care about them. Because one ad will succeed. One ad suddenly gets 20% lower acquisition cost, 15% higher install rates, and boom, then they pour millions into that winning creative. So what looks like luck is often the result of running thousands of experiments. The most successful mobile ads often exploit the curiosity gaps, frustration, completion bias, fear of missing out, social comparison, progress bars, collection mechanics. The game itself may be mediocre, but the onboarding and monetization are heavily optimized. The mobile gaming market is dominated by a handful of giant publishers. Many games that appear to come out of nowhere are actually backed by companies spending tens of millions of dollars on advertising and user acquisition. Examples include, but obviously not limited to, are Scopely, Playrix, Moonactive, King, and Supercell. And unfortunately, these companies have massive user acquisition teams, analytical teams, creative studios producing ads, not games, huge advertising budgets. Every part of an ad, from thumbnail to the first few seconds, is often measured and refined using real-world performance data. And as a result, what looks like a random mobile game is often the product of years of analytics, market research, and marketing optimization. This is one of the reasons why mobile game ads can feel strangely similar or highly effective at grabbing attention. By the way, a common misconception is that better game is equal to more downloads. In mobile free-to-play games, the equation is often discoverability, retention multiplied by monetization is equal to success. But guess what? A game that is 7 out of 10 fun but has incredible marketing can and will outperform a 10 out of 10 fun game that nobody hears about. Many indie developers build better games but struggle because user acquisition is brutally expensive. Now, is it entirely luck based? No, luck still exists, but usually after the fundamentals are in place. But mobile gaming has become a reflection of capitalism. A publisher might test thousands of ad concepts, find 20 decent ones, then find two great ones, and then one unexpectedly just goes viral. That viral hit may feel like luck from the outside, but it was often preceded by a massive amount of testing, data analysis, and ad spending. So, the short answer to that comment is the biggest mobile game successes are rarely random. They are usually the result of sophisticated user acquisition systems, relentless ad testing, psychological optimization, and enough capital to scale what works. And unfortunately, the game itself is often secondary to the marketing machine behind it. Okay, I hope this is recording. So, as I was researching around all of these mobile ads and all the stuff around them, turns out I was missing one very crucial thing, something that had a real impact on this in 2021. You might have noticed that these ads have gotten specifically weirder and more unhinged over the last few years. There's a very specific and technical reason behind that. It stems from the massive corporate war that happened back in 2021. Apple dropped a nuclear bomb on the mobile advertising industry. They introduced a feature called ATT, the App Tracking Transparency. It was that little prompt on your iPhone asking if you want to allow an app to track your activity across other companies' apps and websites. And overnight, over 80% of iPhone users pulled by click Ask App Not to Track. And before this, mobile game publishers were like sniper rifles. Their tracking data allowed them to pinpoint the exact profiles of whales, the wealthy or addicted players who spend thousands of dollars on mobile games, and just served ads directly to them. But when Apple killed tracking, the snipers just lost their scopes. They couldn't find the whales anymore. So they switched from sniper rifles to giant chaotic nets. If you can't target a specific group of people, you have to make an ad so bizarre, so frustrating, or so shocking that everyone stops scrolling to look at it. The thirst trap, the incredibly stupid gameplay choices, the fake puzzles, these aren't accidental. They are a direct, desperate response to data privacy laws. They have to cast the widest net humanly possible, hoping that out of 10 million random people caught in a net, a few whales just happen to be inside. And yes, I wish I could tell you that we live in a great place where money and greediness only come second to fun and great products, but that simply isn't the truth. If your product is not profitable, then it doesn't even matter how good it is. Take the plastic bag for example. We all know how bad it is for the environment. It simply doesn't biodegrade. It's literally mixing into our food and we are eating it. And despite having better alternatives, we still use them. Why? Because guess what? If a plastic bag costs a buck and a better alternative costs a buck and 5 cents, then environment can simply go to hell. I know that sounds bad, but it's the bitter truth. And the same thing goes for these crappy games. If the profitability stops making sense, then these crappy products will stop hitting the market. But that's not the case, at least for now. Usually my videos end on a positive note, but not this time. Alright, that would be just about it. That's all for now. Cheers, keep making awesome stuff. Peace out. It got a bit too much today.